There are some things you cannot do halfway. There are things that are an all or nothing kind of proposition. I think about the time I mustered up the courage to climb up this high dive at Fort Clayton swimming pool. I was in 7th grade, and the reason I was doing it was because there was a girl that was watching. So I climbed up what seemed like a 1,000-foot high dive, got to the top, looked down. Everybody seemed like ants to me. I was so high up there. And then I changed my mind. I was even willing to go through all the humiliation of asking people to move out of the way so I could go down the steps. But the problem was that my friend Jose Nissenball was right behind me. And he was a lot bigger than me. And he said, "There's only one way down, buddy, and it's not this way. You're gonna have to jump." So I jumped off that 1,000-foot high dive. Man, I felt good about myself. I mean, those cliff divers in Acapulco, they had nothing on me. What was funny is that years later, I visited the same swimming pool, and I could swear that high dive was so much higher than that. They probably replaced the old one for safety reasons, because the one that's there now is like 10 feet tall, not very high at all. And the point is that you're either in or you're not. There comes that moment where you either fall back in fear or you lunge forward in faith. And I think the Christian life is much like that. Being a Christ follower was never meant to be some half-hearted endeavor. You have to be all in. That's why pretty much every sermon I ever preach is really a call to be all in. So I want to invite you for 2025 to take on an all-in mindset. For LIFEchurch, 2025 is going to be a monumental year. We have executed a purchase agreement to buy 77,000 square feet that make up our current facility plus a McGregor space. We also have in motion the purchase of the former Cedar Rapids Christian Church that will soon be the new home for our Cedar Rapids campus. These two moves have been, 3 years in the making and are emblematic of our commitment to go all in for the sake of the kingdom of Christ. The Apostle Paul invites us to be all in. Think about Romans 12:1. Paul says, "Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." Paul uses some key words here. He uses the word sacrifice and the word worship. In many ways, what Paul is saying is that anything less than offering your bodies as a living sacrifice, well, that just doesn't count as true worship. Paul is calling us into an all-in mindset that starts with the transformation of our hearts and our minds. So will you join me in making 2025 the year of all in? This is how we can kick off this year. On Sunday, you will be receiving a 21-day prayer guide. As a church community, we will be committing ourselves to prayer for 21 days starting this Sunday. Will you start this year by a commitment to pray? I know you're making many other commitments like losing weight or getting out of debt or having a more sane work life. But what if all of those things were laid on a foundation of prayer, a commitment to go all in and seek God first, just as Jesus said? I'm excited for what God has in store for you and for LIFEchurch and for our community. So let's go all in 2025.